What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have episode 2 of our fall camp preview series. We covered the quarterbacks a few days ago, and today we're tackling the running backs. This is a very interesting room for SC this year. I do feel like this could potentially be the year we finally see a freshman have a big role carrying the football for a Lincoln Riley-led SC team, but there's also some great veteran options to rely on as well. Now, before we get into it, please do leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, I do have an announcement to make. Starting this fall, I will be writing for the Los Angeles Football Network, aka LAFB. 2 years ago, I started my channel not knowing if anyone would want to watch, and now to be in a position to do stuff like this is just really humbling and so cool, for a lack of a better word. I am incredibly excited to join Ryan and his team this year, so make sure you follow LAFB on Twitter and YouTube. All of the socials are linked down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for all the support over the years. And having said all of that, let's break down this running back room. All right, so the two staples of the rotation from last year are gone in Austin Jones and Marshawn Lloyd. To fill that veteran role, we did bring in Woody Marks from Mississippi State. He is going to fit in perfectly with this Lincoln Riley offense. He's explosive, he can catch the ball very well, obviously playing under Mike Leach. And I've said this multiple times on here, I've said it on Tim's show as well, but my favorite thing about him is his ability and consistency as a pass blocker. He's right up there with a guy like Travis Dye in that regard. You can trust him on third down, whether he's going out running a route or staying in to block. Of course, third down is where you win and lose games, so that's very, very important to have a guy you can trust there. But he's also a playmaker. Good speed, tough and physical runner. He is going to be your RB1 as we head into the LSU game. Will he remain the default starter throughout the entire course of the regular season? Of course, with running backs, that remains to be seen, but a player of his caliber and experience will have a large role regardless of when he comes onto the field. Next up, let's talk about fan favorite home run threat Quentin Joyner. Now, Quentin is a guy that can house it from absolutely anywhere on the field. Big time speed, very powerful guy as well. I was talking to Tim yesterday from the Trojan Conquest and USC Voice of College Football channels here on YouTube, and Quentin Joyner came up and he said that if Quentin can shake some of those high school habits off him and learn to really plant his foot in the ground and hit the hole at full speed, it will transform him as a player. And I actually agree with that entirely. That is the main thing missing from his game to make him as elite a player as I know we all know he can be. I honestly think Quentin is one of the highest upside players in the country regardless of position. You don't see size, speed, strength combos like this very often. If he hits and fully maximizes his potential, I truly believe he could be one of, if not the top back in the country. Now, it will be interesting to see what his role is this year. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play a ton early on, but really starts to come on strong towards the end of the year and takes a bulk of the carries. All right, next up, let's talk about the tank that is true freshman running back Brian Jackson. This kid's an absolute monster, 230 pounds, violent intentions every single time he gets the ball in his hands. Sneaky speed as well. I loved what we saw from him in the spring game. In my head, I'm just imagining a goal line package with Jade Mayava and Brian Jackson. I mean, goodness, filling that hole as a defender is a business decision. Would you want to take on either of those guys? Not a chance for me. Let me know down in the comments if you could see that happening. And last up in the running back room, let's talk about Amarian Peterson. Amarian is a good ball player, man. He really is. The question here, though, is he good enough to carve out a role in this offense? And that is a tough ask. Of course, injuries can happen, attrition can happen. But outside of that, do I foresee him earning a significant role on this team? I don't really see a pathway for him. And I don't mean to sound like I'm doubting Amarian because I'm not. We honestly just don't know a lot about him. We haven't really seen him. He's still a very young player. He was a big time player coming out of the state of Texas. So of course, if he gets some run this year and really takes advantage of it, he could carve out a role. Just with all those guys at the top, it's going to be very tough for him. But overall, with this running back room, is it elite? I wouldn't go as far as saying that. Is it solid enough to win us a Big Ten championship? Absolutely. Very good options 1 through 4. A lot of pedigree, a lot of physicality. Every guy you see on there is not afraid to lower his shoulder and run someone over. There's also enough receiving and enough playmaking to really make this a dynamic room. And again, just to recap, I do see Woody Marks being your RB1. I see Quentin Joyner coming in to spell him. I do think Woody's going to be in on third down. And if you're in a short yardage or goal line situation, I do think Brian Jackson is an excellent option there. But guys, of course, I do want to hear from you. What do you think about the running backs this year? Specifically, how do you feel about this room when compared to last year's? Would really love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. And guys, that will do it for me. Please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You guys are all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.